Hey guys, my name is Louise Zapati and I am a heavy vehicle and plane mechanic trader and assessor turned life coach. This is episode 2 in my series Becoming a Tradie. This episode is about getting your paperwork together. So what I mean by that is making sure you're actually a tradie, that you're actually qualified. As an RPL specialist, which is a recognition of prior learning specialist, so that's what I predominantly do now, I've seen a lot of guys come through that have missed out one or two pieces of their paperwork from an apprenticeship they've done a few years ago, and now they have to pretty much restart all over again. And the amount of work it takes to restart your apprenticeship after you've technically already done it and trying to get work and evidence together to then get that qualification, it is a lot of work, and it can really kind of hurt your soul and your morale. So I would recommend to get all your paperwork together. So if you've done a certificate 3 in whatever trade you've done, make sure that is properly completed. All right, make sure you have that certificate in your hand and you can see it. Some people miss out because they might not have a work evidence handed in. So, you go in, you do your course, and then some courses will have a work evidence that you need to get signed in the workplace. And that catches people out. They think they're finished because they've done all their classes, but they need to hand in that work evidence. I would recommend doing that work evidence like as you go along. So get all your first year one done when you've first year, second year. That way, then even if you do stop for some reason, you've got all of those fully complete. Another thing that you need to be sure that you get is any licenses or certificates of proficiency that you need for your trade. So with the Australian apprenticeships, we do 4 years, and in the first 3 years is when you do your certificate 3. So your certificate 3 does not mean that you're a qualified tradie. Your certificate of proficiency does. And what your certificate of proficiency is where you fill out a form from the Australian government with your certificate. You attach your certificate 3, and then you attach proof that you've actually done 4 years worth of work. And your supervisor or the business owner needs to sign off on that. So certificate of proficiency is where you become your tradie. You've done your 4 years, you've got your cert 3, it's all come together. That's your trade. Any licenses that you need. So some trades do need licenses, and that is another form of paperwork again. All right, so you got your motor repairer's license. That's basically the only one that I know. But each trade may have a license that you need to get. So make sure that, for one, you know what licenses you need to get for your trade, and 2, you go and get them. It is harder to do something a few years later because everything is constantly being updated, and sometimes they update things and then say things are outdated and they're not current anymore, which means you have to go through an extra process to then get those licenses. So once you finish your trade, make sure you get onto it straight away to get whatever licenses you need. All right, I know things happen, people pass away in your life, you might moving house, all that kind of stuff. Do it within that year that you're supposed to be qualified. So you finished your 4 years, and then you've got that year afterwards where 5th year you're a tradie. Sometime in that year, get it done. If you've got something crazy going on, that's fair enough. Wait a little bit, but try and get it done within that year, because it will be so much harder to get it all together a few years later. Even if you are leaving the trade, I know a lot of people who left the trade who thought they had never come back to it, and then they have, and they've been missing a few pieces of paperwork and they've had to start again. All right, so I do not want that for anyone. It is not fun. All right, so guys, get your paperwork together, celebrate this moment, take a photo with your paperwork and be like, yes, I got this. Because it is something amazing and something to be super proud of, and there is so much more that you can do after this. All right, thanks guys, stay safe.